Everybody, welcome back to the stage at DCon as we wrap up our entertainment today. Thank you guys so much for spending some of your precious DCon time with us. Right now, we're going to bring up our DJ. You want to come up here for us? Let's make some noise. So we've got Alex over here in the corner, and we've also got our 4 illustrators, storyboard artists from Sony Pictures Animation. Let's make some noise and bring them up on the stage. They drew numbers in the back. And our first match is going to be Guillermo versus Octavio. What we're doing this time that makes it different is we have 3 movies selected. They all know the movie, but they do not know the scene that they're going to storyboard out. I'm going to pick one of you to pick a scene from that movie. So who wants to get involved and get one of these archival prints from Sony Pictures Animation for Across the Spider-Verse? It's hand numbered. This one's $4.95 out of 500. It's got the embossment in the corner and it's signed. Who wants to go along with this? You? All right. You want to step up here real quick? Who am I speaking with?
Renee.
Renee. Pick a number 1 through 3. 2. At number 2, you have just picked Karate Kid. Do you have any Karate Kid fans here? Karate Kid is one of the biggest Sony Picture movies of all time. Do you have a scene that you can give the guys to draw?
The montage scene where he is doing the crane on the beach.
All right. Renee, thank you so much. Here's your print. These guys are going to go for 10 minutes. At the end, you're going to vote who does best. Her scene was Daniel's son training, learning how to do the crane pose. You have 10 minutes. Here we go. So the last time we did 5-minute blocks. This is twice as long. Let's see what they get into, how much rendering we see. All right, so this is Daniel's son in the crane pose. Seems Octavio's going for a portrait, where it appears that Guillermo may be going straight on. A happy accident that they're both doing different perspectives, so it'll look like our 2 warriors are fighting each other. Daniel's son into the karate verse. You can see Guillermo's personal style come through in his characterization. Whereas currently Octavio's keeping it very simple, putting in the texture, the grain of the pillar that Daniel's son stood on. One more realism, the other a little bit more animated. Octavio giving us the big zoom in so we can really see what's happening as he's doing his second pass. Look at that smile. He hates me right now, and I love it. See Guillermo putting in the pillar that Daniel's son standing on, adding in the wood grain, the texture. Octavio resetting that head sculpt. Oh, Guillermo adding in our second character. Is this Miyagi? Or somebody taking a selfie in front of Daniel's son. Look at this character that he's just pulling out of thin air. A tale of 2 different styles here as you see one more figurative and realism with Octavio. Then Guillermo doing something way more animated. Insightful words from Mr. Miyagi. Friends, we are a little over 5 minutes. If you remember the last time, they only got 5 minutes total. So you can see with the extra time how much more rendering we're getting with Octavio, going a little bit more realistic, adding in that sunset behind Daniel's son as he's putting in the long hours to learn the teachings of Mr. Miyagi. Whereas Guillermo's going fun, lighthearted, and animated. Guys, they're halfway done. Let's cheer them on. Let's give them a little round to let them know that we're loving this. Guillermo looking deep into thought. See each of the guys doing things in layers so that if they work on one piece, they don't ruin what's beneath it. Also giving them the ability to turn off the under illustration once the overlayer is completed. Guillermo working on the opacity to make some under illustrations go away. Uh-oh, it's yellow pants time. Octavio working on some items in the background. Or maybe working on his own Miyagi over to the side. Guillermo going in and adding color. With 3.5 minutes left. Quickly working around the entire character form. Obviously skipping the teeth, the eyeballs. As Octavio just keeps adding in layers and layers of texture. We see a silhouette of a Miyagi-type character off to the right, working in the shoes, the pants. Friends, we've got 2 minutes left, where Guillermo colors in his characters. Octavio is adding in something altogether different. Oh, look at those menacing eyebrows. Is it the Cobra Kai showing up in the final 2 minutes? All right, friends, we're coming up on 1 minute as Guillermo adds in the happy sun, cheering on Daniel's son. All right, let's start making some noise for the last 50 seconds. Let's carry him across the finish line. Come on, 45 seconds. Let's carry him across. Let's keep him going. Let's keep him going.
I don't remember
30 seconds.
the whole scene.
They're tired. They're
So
worn
I
out.
had to improvise a
They've
little bit.
waxed on. They've waxed off.
But yeah,
They've painted up.
I
They've
know the
painted
actual
down.
crane pose, and then after that I was like,
They
I'm
need
gonna
you
take
to
some
carry them
creative
across.
liberties here. So.
You guys want to count down with me? Let's start right now at 10.
He might still
9, 8.
He might still be
7,
doing an Instagram
6,
story, being like, here,
5,
just teaching Daniel.
4, 3, 2, 1. Apple pencils down. Yes. Look how relieved they look. A tale of
just
two
basically
different
wanted to get the
styles,
key
two different ways
shot
of
because
putting
I
it
remember
together.
the silhouette of
Pick up your
the
microphones,
son as
gentlemen.
he's actually practicing
Guillermo,
the move.
you went
and
very
then wanted to
animated.
go in and
Tell us
actually
about your
give
decision to go
a little more
animated and put a lot of
expression to that
personality in
character.
there.
So I was just thinking cinematically of that moment.
Okay.
Not that far, I guess.
Yeah.
No,
For
not
a
that
second,
far.
I thought Miyagi was maybe taking a selfie of Daniel's son over his shoulder, but. Octavio, you started in with like lower lines and you started building up and building up, building up. When do you know that it's time to move on to the next thing?
Oh my God. Oh wow. Right out. Okay. Thank you. Oh my God. Oh my God.
If you were in a meeting and doing these for a project that people were talking about in the room, how far off is this from the work that you would actually be doing? That's awesome. That's awesome. That's great to hear. All right. If you think that Guillermo, our returning champion, is the winner, let's make some noise for him. And if you think Octavio is our winner, let's make some noise for him. Guillermo, it was too hard to hold the title 2 years in a row. So we're going to ask you to step down. Octavio will be back to face off with one of the women who are up on the stage right now to do our next feature. Congratulations, sir. Way to sweep the leg. We ready? All right, let's do it. 10 minutes are on the board. Let's remind everybody that busting makes us feel good. All right, we see Lauren going hard out of the gate. Super loose. Cutting up the cell into all the different places that she needs everything to go. Whereas Alicia's going a little bit more methodical. Lining up her characters. I'm loving how wild Lauren's style is, just going for it. Hey, wait, aren't you working on a Ghostbusters project? Oh. This is really a tale of two styles and two different ways of going after the exact same problem. Oh, I believe we see the light working of a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man on the back horizon. There we go. See how Lauren drops down the opacity. In the freeform, giving herself the ability to basically shape out, plot out where everything goes. And now she can essentially trace her own figures, but knowing with confidence that she already has their placement, where she needs them to be to tell the story that she's looking to do of the original Ghostbusters and the Crossing the Streams. Look at that. Now just quickly working in the character's details because she already knows that her real estate has been measured out the way that she wants it to be. She's now trying to remind herself how she holds a gun. We can tell that she's not much of a hunter because she just held a gun like one would hold a baby that they're getting ready to give a bath. Now we see Alicia doing the same thing, tracing her own artwork, but knowing with confidence that she's got everything exactly where she needs it to be. Very different approach than the gentlemen that were just up here that focused on a character out perspective. Each of the ladies laying down a blueprint for future success. And mind you, those blueprints were done in just a little over 2 minutes with 7 minutes left to render. Lauren, one character over Alicia. Here we can see Alicia going through, quickly adding in the personalities. Little second guessing herself over on Lauren's artboard. Yes, not only are you illustrated in front of people with a timer running, but somebody dialoguing your every moment. Every illustrator's version of hell. And you said you would do this on a Saturday for free. Congratulations. You can see though that Lauren took the time to take the character on the far right and have them actually facing the opposite way of the two characters on the left, therefore delivering in the crossing of the streams that was requested. Where we can see Ashley has everybody doing teamwork lined up, layering each character behind the one in front of them, but saving time for that big payoff of the fan favorite, the Stay Puft Marshall man in the background. Friends, we are halfway done. Let's make some noise for Ashley and Lauren. They're halfway there. And it does go to show with doubling the time, having 3 minutes to use for planning, these are so much more rendered than anything that we saw during the first half. Alicia getting in there, making room for the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, effortlessly putting in typography, putting that nice brow indentation on the far side of the head, putting in the skull, whereas over in Lauren, it's just full-on Blaster Town. And we see Lauren has gone over to start doing some washes underneath her characters, add a little bit of depth and dimension. Doing a big, broad color wash over everything, keeping it monochromatic, so I'm assuming that later she can add in some accents to make things pop, as the client always says. There we go, adding in 2 different levels of the magenta to mix up the layering and the depth in the crossing of the streams. That's the move. You add the white over it, that's the power move. Look at that. Look at all that busting, and damn, it makes me feel good. We're seeing Alicia shoot back herself with a very flowing stream from the gentleman. And then look at this, the dark color in the back, pushing our heroes into the foreground, giving more contrast to the 2 magentas with that nice white accent over the top. But oh, Alicia's not done, adding in the yellow, a fiery Ghostbusters from the far right. Yeah, 2 minutes. As we see Lauren go through and add in some white to pay more attention to the menacing faces of our heroes trying to battle. Oh, look at this. We just went to Gradient Town. They said it couldn't be done in under 10 minutes, but there it is. Real live gradient edges, which is going to push all of our characters more in the foreground and make the background go. Look at that. Erasing away the gradient to get that bright white Stay Puft beret. Uh-oh. Lauren's not done. I can add in dark colors to make my grays pop even more. Friends, we are down to our final minute. What a different approach these 2 contestants took from our guys. Let's make some noise for them. Come on. What a different approach this round from the last. She's setting the city on fire, and why not with 50 seconds left? Plenty of time to set a city on fire. Wow, look at this. Alicia is going through and putting in those dark tones on the right, which is already making on their left. Also on our right, you see the highlights glowing even more. Stay Puft has his dark shadow going away from the gradients.
I tried to
we now have a nice glow coming from the blasters.
I
Did you
kinda
expect to see such a good
everybody in,
close
but it was
so
fun.
quick?
I do love this
Friends,
movie.
with 20 seconds left, let's carry them across the finish line.
Yours, though.
Let's make
Alicia's
some
like the
noise.
icing.
Oh, look at that one.
Yeah.
So good.
Let's make some noise. 'Cause these are amazing. Lauren wanted to prove that she could draw, and I think that she's done it. Help me, friends. 10, 9,
yeah, I was hoping I would have
8,
enough time for it, so I
7,
was rushing at the
6,
end to get to that,
5,
but yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Apple pencils down. Wow. Wow, look at that glow on the right. Look at them look at each other's work for the first time.
Between us? Yeah. Alicia.
Lauren, how do you feel about the redemption? It's nice though. It's a nice tight frame of everybody. Alicia, did you know the whole time that you were going to add in this light source and this glow? Were you working towards that, or was that just a Hail Mary at the end? Yeah. Well, it's interesting. You went so loose on your characters, but then once that lighting started to come in, that depth and the glow from the guns there really came together. Who do you think's better, Lauren, if you had to vote? Yeah. Alicia, who would you vote for? I love it. So nice. But unfortunately, you don't get to vote. Let's make some noise if you think Lauren won our Ghostbuster challenge. Thank you. And if you think Alicia won, let's make some noise. The left-hand side of the table is hot tonight. Alicia, thank you so much. Lord. You spilled water? Oh, we'll get, there's water up there. Do you have a? Oh, it's her iPad. Don't worry about it. Just wipe it off with your iPad, then you'll be fine. All right, well, as we clean up from Lauren's watercolors, we're going to have Octavio come back up here to battle off against Ash. Alicia, and we have one movie left.
There's a scene where he's swinging with the pizza box in New York City. Yeah.
We got that? You are pro pizza, my man. It's his favorite movie. That's amazing. All right. All right, this time around, we're upping it to 15 minutes to give you more time to lay down your underdrawing, your second drawing, your coloring. This is for everything. We have no prize. So please, really, really go hard. Go inside of you. And remember, with great power comes great illustration responsibility. Are you ready? Let's go. The scene again is Spider-Man flying with a pizza. You know that memorable moment. No worry about Doc Ock. No worry about the train scene that you love so much. It's Spider-Man flying with the pizza. I don't either. I think this guy made up his own version of Spider-Man too, and we're going to go with it. I like that. Where we can almost barely see anything, but you know that they're laying down a foundation. Oh, wow. Look at Octavio going for the perspective, putting in the vehicles. If I was a betting man, there's going to be a Spider-Man flying over the top of those vehicles. Whereas it looks like Alicia is already going for our hero. And Octavio, you worked on the Spider-Man. You're working on that currently, right? All right. Have you eaten any pizza while you're working on that project? Because that might give you, if you were drawing, across the Spider-Verse while eating a slice of pie, you might have an upper hand here. What a tale of 2 minutes. Octavio building the city, building the cars, doing his second pass of putting more lines in as Alicia is working on our hero and figuring out exactly where that pizza's gonna go. Octavio now adding in our hero over the city. I'm assuming that he's doing this in layers like he has been the whole time so he can easily erase what he doesn't need below. He's loosely working in his character details, while Alicia is putting the restaurateur in the background. Octavio adding those vertical lines to create even more depth as he has the camera pointing right down on our hero flying through the streets of Manhattan. Uh-oh, Octavio has selected his hero. We might see a repositioning. Oh, there we go. Getting that proportion right. Let's position him in there a little bit bigger to make it feel like the city's even further behind his hero. Oh, Alicia, rebooting, throwing some of the 4 minutes of work right out the window. Well, Octavio has lightened up his back layers, and he's now doing the second pass, illustrating over his own artwork with confidence. Look, he looks bored. He's just holding his head up. Whereas Octavio's put a lot of emphasis on his composition and layout, depicting the depth of Spider-Man flying over the city. Alicia has put her time into the characterization of Spider-Man, putting in those details. Oh, she's erasing again. Are we seeing one of our heroes crumble under pressure? This is now the third arm, and a spider only has 8. Oh no, the whole body is gone. Is she gonna like the blouse this time? Nice tapered waist on Spidey. You've seen what both of these illustrators are capable of doing in 10 minutes, and this time with a head start. Wow, look at the forced perspective in Octavio's illustration. The depth is so amazing. Alicia doing something that makes no sense to anybody other than illustrators. I don't know why when you put the paper at an angle, somehow it feels more comfortable. Like, what is the brain science behind, if I turn it 30 degrees, it just feels more comfortable? Do you have any illustrators in the crowd? Yeah? Any comic illustrators in the crowd? Anybody that wants to draw comics? Awesome. I'll leave you alone. Is the restaurant owner still back there, or did he perish in the great erasure? All right, friends. They are almost at their halfway mark, and look what they have done with their time. Yes, we have our first slice of pizza. Look at that. Who here likes pizza? Hell yeah. Hell yeah. A minute ago, anybody an illustrator? No noise. Pizza, roof blows off the place. While the voice of God was playing, did you guys notice that Octavio added in a lot of deep lines and then pulled back on the opacity so that they're faintly there, adding in some shading, but also a lot of speed and motion. Whereas Alicia is rolling into Detail City. We've got the Spider-Man crest on his chest, a dude who's either blown away at holy hell, that's Spider-Man, or this is the best slice of pizza I've ever had in my life. Only the next little bit of time will tell. 6 minutes left. See a lot of messing with opacity. Octavio's zooming in to have a better, oh, here she comes. This is how she took out the competition the last time. The spray brush is loose. Going heavy to that left side, leaving highlights on our right. But Octavio says, oh no, I can go darker. Look at that, silhouetting out the eyes, putting in the details, putting shadows in the pizza over on the right. My right, your left. Oh, that is a happy Spider-Man. That's a Spider-Man that's thinking, I'm gonna go home and eat this box of pizza. Friends, we have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left, and you can see this is where we're really gonna start to see the gloss applied to these illustrations. Alicia's still working in her dark values. Going around the illustration, she has a very bright, almost globe around the top of her illustration in that big open space. Will she fill it or will she leave it open? Where Octavio's really leaning on a more amateur-looking Spider-Man, not quite so fit. Friends, have you had fun at DesignerCon today? Yeah? Have you had fun? Good. Who bought something really, really awesome today that you're excited about? Yeah. Who has to go home and make an excuse to a partner on the money that you spent today? Oh, these were all couple-approved purchases? Interesting. Then you're not hardcore collectors. Guillermo, what are you thinking right now for the final 3 minutes?
I'm pretty hungry.
Well, conveniently, we've got pizza right up in front of us.
No, this is amazing. This is fantastic.
More fun to watch than to do?
100% more fun to watch than to do, yeah.
Lauren, what are you thinking?
But it's definitely 100% more fun to watch than to draw.
You've been pretty vocal on how much fun you've had today.
It's a fun day.
All right, here we are. We are at 3 minutes. We see Alicia adding in the skyline in the background. There's that big opening in the sky I was questioning. She's now darkened it in. Octavio dipping back over to the cars. Putting in some grills. Oh, there's the highlights. The highlights are coming through. Knocking out a little bit of that shading that you had in before. 2.5 minutes left. Once again, I love seeing two artists do the same scene because look at these different camera angles, a different sense of energy. And look at that white that Alicia's putting through there, just pushing everything back in the background. Friends, we have 2 minutes left, and then we will have our champion. That will take a lap around the entire DesignerCon as everyone will throw them gifts and greet them as being the head of storyboard art for the year 2022. Oh, here we see a sun in the background. All right, we are down to 90 seconds. Yeah. It's getting real. A man came up here almost 15 minutes ago and had a dream of Spider-Man and pizza. Pretty sure made up a scene from the movie that I've never seen before. And look at these two, delivering on that man's dream. Well, kinda, until Octavio decided just to black it all out. Is he throwing the contest? This is either insanity or heroic. You didn't expect to see a blackout right at the last minute. Friends, we are down to 50 seconds. Octavio going through, adding in that light, making Spider-Man pop even more. Friends, we have 30 seconds down. Let's make some noise to carry him across our finish line.
Testing.
30 seconds, look at this.
For me, it was just
A
trying to
Tale
lay
of
down,
Two Spider-Men.
The kind of
A
foundation
Tale of Two Artists'
of
Vision.
the cars and just trying to get a sense of like I wanted to get some movement.
Let's begin
So
the
first thing was
countdown
just trying to play that
right
and
now.
go, okay, the next
at
thing I want to do is
10,
the emotion and the action
9,
of
8,
him coming to
7,
So-
6, 5, 4, 3,
Exactly.
2, 1.
Exactly. Yeah.
Spider-Man. There we go. Octavio, you started out right out of the gate. You knew you wanted those two cars there. And then we saw you mess around with your Spider-Man. What were you trying to do when you cropped him out and moved him around? Into your microphone, please. So many rules. He's like, I just want to go home. It's Saturday. I've been making movies all week. You're in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, this would be like
And
a
with that
conceptual,
vanishing
just
point
kinda
behind
like a
our
rough
hero,
idea.
we've got
Yeah.
all those lines just pulling that speed, and he's organically swinging against that. Alicia, what you did was you worked on the character for a while. You wanted to get that going. Once you got that dialed in, you created motion too, but in a more left to right versus an up and down swing. Two different people seeing it in a different way. But once again, I think what really made your start to pop is once you added in all of those different highlights against your darkness. Is that your move? I mean, it was so loose until you added that in there, and then it added so much dimension to it. It was a really great job. Did you enjoy this? Yeah? And if you were presenting, is this far off? Is this basically like work you might present in the office? That's awesome. Okay, well now we're going to give you another 30 minutes to see what a better idea looks like. No, we're not going to do that. Ladies and gentlemen, no, we're not. He's like, dude, I got a family. If you think Octavio is our winner, let's make some noise for that side of the stage. And if you think Alicia is our champion, let's make some noise for this side of the stage. People really love color and contrast lights. You did what every client asked, make it pop, and you did that.